In the scorching summer of 1920, a nation already simmering with post-war anxieties was about to witness a trial that would ignite a firestorm. Nicholas Sacco, a shoemaker, and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, a fish peddler, both Italian immigrants and known anarchists, were arrested for the brazen daylight robbery and murder of a payroll guard. But this was no ordinary crime. The evidence was shaky, the prosecution's case built on circumstantial threads, and whispers of prejudice against the defendants. Radical beliefs echoed through the courtroom. What followed was a years-long legal battle, a symbol of the deep divisions in America between nativism and immigrant rights, and a stark reminder of how fear can cloud justice, leaving an indelible stain on the American legal system. Imagine 1908. Crete, bathed in the Mediterranean sun, its dusty ruins whispering of a lost civilization. Deep within the ancient Minoan palace, archaeologists toiled, their spades unearthing the secrets of centuries. Then, a discovery that would baffle the world. A humble clay disc, no larger than a hand, emerged from the earth. But this was no ordinary find. Its surface was alive with a mesmerizing spiral of stamped symbols, unlike anything seen before. Hieroglyphs? Pictograms? They were unique, a language entirely its own. What forgotten story does it tell? Who possessed the ingenuity to craft such a message? And for what purpose? To this very day, its meaning remains locked away, an enigmatic ancient secret, a tantalizing glimpse into a world we may never fully understand. The year is 1605. London, a city teeming with life, was about to witness a plot so audacious, so devastating, it would forever echo through history. Against the backdrop of religious tension, a group of desperate Catholic conspirators hatched a deadly plan to blow up Parliament itself. Their target, King James I, and the heart of English governance. At the center of this dark scheme stood Guy Fawkes, a man of grim determination. Deep beneath the House of Lords, a cellar was packed with 36 barrels of gunpowder, a slumbering inferno waiting to be ignited. But fate, as it so often does, intervened. An anonymous letter, a warning whispered in the dark, reached the authorities. The plot was discovered. Guy Fawkes, found guarding his deadly cache, was captured. And so, the infamous Gunpowder Plot was foiled, a stark reminder of the dangers of fanaticism and the chilling power of a single, anonymous warning. Imagine the scene. Dublin Castle, 1907. A palpable buzz of anticipation hangs in the air, for King Edward VII himself is due to visit. But before royalty could even set foot on Irish soil, a scandal of epic proportions was about to unfold, a mystery that would echo through history. Hidden away in the secure Bedford Tower, locked and guarded, lay the priceless Irish crown jewels. Then, disaster struck. They vanished. Poof! Gone. Disappeared without a trace, mere days before the king's arrival. The sheer audacity, the impossible nature of the theft sent shockwaves through the establishment. Was it a cunning insider? Whispers pointed to the Duke of Argyll's nephew, but no one was ever caught. No jewels recovered. To this day, the fate of Ireland's lost crown jewels remains one of the British Isles' most enduring and tantalizing unsolved mysteries. In the vast, sun-baked plains of Western Australia, a conflict unlike any other was brewing. The year was 1932, and the enemy wasn't human, but avian. Thousands upon thousands of emus, driven by drought and seeking food, descended upon farmlands, wreaking havoc on crops and fences. Desperate farmers, many of them ex-soldiers, appealed for help, and the government, in its wisdom, dispatched a military contingent armed with machine guns. What followed was less a war and more a chaotic, feathered farce. The agile emus proved surprisingly elusive, scattering at the sound of gunfire, their speed and erratic movements making them formidable, if unintentional, adversaries. The machine guns jammed, the ammunition was expended, And the birds, remarkably, continued to thrive. The Emu War became a legendary, if embarrassing, footnote in Australian history, a stark reminder that nature, in its own unpredictable way, can often outwit even the most determined human intervention. Imagine a river swollen with a relentless spring rain that could no longer be contained. In 1927, the mighty Mississippi became a monstrous force, unleashed upon the American heartland. For weeks the deluge continued, the water rising higher and higher, until finally the levees, those proud guardians of the plains, began to crumble. In a terrifying spectacle, a wall of water, up to 70 miles wide, surged across the landscape, swallowing towns whole, turning fertile fields into a vast muddy sea. Over 250,000 people were forced from their homes, many fleeing in flimsy boats, leaving behind everything they owned. This epic disaster, the largest natural disaster in American history at the time, would forever alter the nation's approach to flood control and fundamentally reshape the lives and landscapes of the Mississippi Delta. In the roaring boomtowns of America's untamed West, where fortunes were sought and often found, a whisper began to circulate in 1872. Two ambitious prospectors, their eyes gleaming with an almost unbelievable secret, arrived claiming to have stumbled upon a hidden treasure trove, a virgin diamond field, overflowing with raw, glittering gems. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a frenzy of excitement that reached the highest echelons of finance. Top bankers and shrewd investors, captivated by the promise of unimaginable riches, poured millions into the venture, their fortunes skyrocketing overnight. But beneath the glittering facade, a darker truth was being meticulously crafted. It was the sharp mind of geologist Clarence King who, with his keen eye, would ultimately expose the audacious deception. The legendary diamond field? It was nothing more than a cunningly salted deception, a carefully orchestrated swindle that would go down as America's biggest,